conversation, because that is what they do, and that is what they thrive on. I mean, like, it's just the way, like, it's their every day. They check people's stories. And so if we can become that, we need to get in that game, I guess is what I'm saying with that is, we need to make sure that we're utilizing that as far as in groups. And I did not realize that they had released it where you could do it into groups. So I don't know how I looked over it because I'm on my group page like every day. But anyway, I think that was a biggie for me, because I think that it's going to open up opportunity for us to, sometimes there's so much you want to say, but then you have to hold yourself back. I know this is the way I am. Knowing the algorithms of Facebook, there's all these things that you want to say, like, oh, I want to tell them this too, I want to tell them this too. And you're like, yeah, but I can't do another post because it's going to throw off, the things that keeping the main thing. But with stories, it kind of solves that problem for you, because you can add further content to a post that you did, refer to that other post, and without having to make that post on your news feed really long, you can add some additional content to it. But then you can also talk about other things that maybe you aren't necessarily putting on the feed. But I feel like a story, if we really use these well, it's actually going to draw people to the page even more than the live feed. Because people, we live in a culture that's like this. They aren't going to sit and read a huge paragraph, but if they can click through those stories and they can see how long they are, and, they're going to get more information quickly. So that is, I think, something for us to really not just let that be something we consider later on. I mean, I really think we need to, engage that from the beginning.
I definitely think you should be like the total one in charge of that, because I don't understand stories, but I agree with you. I want to understand. Right. I think we should do them, but I feel like that's something that you should be like, tell us exactly what to do and we'll do it.
Yeah. I mean, and what we can do is, I can even do a little mini training on that. Like we can do it.
I think it's super important. I definitely want to do it. I don't understand it myself. I've tried doing some over Christmas break and I totally dropped the ball just with my own personal lens. But I love that you're into that and that, like you're the expert on that.
Well, I don't know if I'm an expert on it. I just do it. I mean, I'm not as the expert as many people are. I mean, and honestly, the way to learn about it is go watch people's stories.
And go do it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And you get an idea of what it kind of is.
I think that's definitely important. I love it. Did you have anything else?
I think they really probably hit on the rest of it. So that's all I'll say for now.
Okay. What if I saw Becca jumped off? Jackie, I don't know, you're at work. Do you have anything? Right now, all we're doing real quick, and then we'll go through some things, is what you got the most from the call, if you were able to listen, and if you have anything you're like, this is what we definitely have to do, like one of your aha moments or whatever from that call. She's been typing, so she may not be able. She's at work. She might not be able to.
Hey, I was typing, but I figured it would take me 2 seconds to just come on and talk real quick. Hi, everybody. I'm sorry I'm at work, but
thanks for jumping on.
No, I just really, sure, of course. I really loved the testimonies album and like screenshotting testimonies and creating like a little graphic out of them and popping them in the album. I like the way, in the pinned post, even on the A-team, how it kind of has like the different boxes of like where to find different things. Like I think that's super awesome and streamlined. I'm super excited about the whole thing, is putting it all together and then merging the pages for sure.
Awesome. Okay. I love this. Okay. So here's what and everything you guys are saying is, of course, what I think too. Some of you hit on some things that I didn't like. I love, like I said, what Gloria said about communicate and build community. That's just, I like the way you worded that. I really think that should be part of our like mission statement or whatever. But I think, okay, so I think what we need to do is like come up with the jobs, like what we need to do. And so here's some of the jobs that we came up with. And Julie and I met a little bit earlier. We had already planned on meeting because we've been talking about this for a while. So here's some of the things that I thought that we need: an albums administrator, And that's basically someone that's like the type of albums that we want to have are the health concerns and the product lines. And so something that Julia mentioned, which I thought was brilliant, would be just like the company does, how they'll say weight loss, health and nutrition, I think is what they say, whatever, kind of align that and put it where, whether it's in the pin post or the albums, where they can easily, like any potential that you add, hey, go here to the albums and, whatever, regardless of what's going on the page, they can just easily get product knowledge. So when someone's like, hey, send me information, okay, add them to the page, and they can easily see what they need for those emerald or detailed people, like product knowledge. And then health concerns as well. So one of the things, like, I know there's like ADHD pages out there, there's breastfeeding pages out there, there's all these things that we add people to, but why not have it in our page, so like organize it with, okay, here are people with autoimmune issues, or you know what I mean, like different specific groups, breastfeeding mamas, different things like that. So we need somebody that would be wanting to like kind of be in charge of that. Like when someone posts a testimony, go in, weekly or whatever, daily, and just add it to that album. Like he said, like just be in charge of, and that could be like even a 2-person job. And as far as jobs also, I want to say, I don't want any person to feel pressured or to get burnt out. So I also think we need to reevaluate maybe monthly and let other people, you know what I mean? Like, let it be a privilege, like maybe a new gold or a new silver, or, when you get something, ask them if they want to do it. And then maybe at the end of the month or even 2 weeks or whatever we decide, we can say, okay, Gloria, you've been doing an awesome job as our administrator of the albums administrator. Is that something you want to continue? How are you feeling about? Like, we need to have that conversation so that you don't get burnt out and, someone else could take a turn or whatever. But that's just one thing. Let's see, a testimony. So another thing that I want to change, and I'm actually really excited about this. How much we love testimony time, right? So I think we need to do testimony time in this page instead of trying to explain to a potential how to get on a Zoom. Add them to the page and let's do testimony time. And I am wanting to get, it's going to be a business investment. I have to do it, is to add to Zoom where I could do it in a page. So the testimony coordinator could be in charge of gathering testimonies for maybe testimony time, and then even coming up with the theme. Obviously, I don't mind doing it, but that would be a good job for another person in leadership to do. So let's say Julie Thackeray was in charge of that. She would be in charge, okay, Amy or whoever, for this month, these 4 weeks, here's what we're going to do our testimonies on. And then she'd be in charge of finding people to fill those roles, and, you could even host it, or I don't mind hosting it, or whatever. You could find someone else to host it, however you want to do it. But instead of trying to get potentials on a Zoom, get them in this page, and let's do the Zoom in that page, 8:30 on Tuesday. So I think that's also something that's really important, is that. Okay, this truly is one of the most important jobs, I feel like, and it could be a 2 or 3 person job, is a comments caretaker. So if like, I don't know about you, but whenever I post something that I think is really good, I check that thing like 70 times to see who commented. And but if you post something and nobody shares, you're like, you kind of feel bad. So we need somebody to monitor the comments, and this can be something we change weekly, or pick 5 people, and on Mondays your job is to look at all the comments and to comment back. And so kind of like, I think all of us are in that Leadership Legacy Academy, where Kelly, think about Kelly. She is phenomenal at this. Like, she comments on everything, and sometimes it'll just be like, hey, we'll get back to you. And then sometimes she knows, like, okay, I don't know the answer, so she'll tag Bob to make sure he sees it, So someone we need that. I think that's something that's really important, is to monitor the comments. And obviously we all can do it, but like, we need to like put someone in charge of that. And then let's see, one of the things that Bob does in his page, like if you think about Bob's page, not that we have to do everything he does. Like originally I was thinking, okay, we need to have it kind of like I have my team page, like Mondays we do this, Tuesdays we do this, you know, that, and that can be okay, but I want to make it simple. And you got to think about like when you add a potential, what you want them to see. If you notice what Bob does is he doesn't necessarily have a theme day, but he has specific things that you know you can expect. Like we know in his page, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, he's going to do a live at 8 o'clock. We know Thursdays, he's going to do that hot seat thing. We know Friday mornings is going to be the Freedom Friday thing. You know what I mean? So I think it's good to, like some of the things you talked about, like the testimonies and interviews, I think you said, Gloria. So what if like, I don't know, you knew like every, I don't know, just pick a day, Tuesday at 3 o'clock, there's going to be an interview, you know, and we could even take turns interviewing. Like it doesn't always have to just be me. Like I want it to be a collective thing where, you know, whatever, but just certain things that we can expect, you know, and I think product highlights and testimonies are by far the most important thing, because when someone's asking for information, that's what they want to see. We want to know, or what are the products do, and obviously testimonies are going to be. So I don't know, Julie mentioned like maybe we'll do a, you know, Monday, Wednesday, Friday is product highlight, and then testimonies to go along with that product, that's those same days. And then Tuesdays, Thursdays can be more about health, or like, you know, like you were saying, Gloria, not the generic type ones, the community builders, the health tips, the, you know, that kind of thing. And not that we can't do it throughout, but you know, those things. And then Fridays, like, hey, fabulous Friday, what on good in your life this week? You know, kind of how he does that. But those are my thoughts. But I think as long as we have our theme, like our health and happiness, you know, we want to learn about products. We want people to feel like they belong. We want people to find a community with us, like you said. And then also, this is another thing that I'm just going to say it, maybe mention this to Katie Crispin, because this is actually her strength. We haven't talked to her yet, so she might not want to do this. But I'm going to mention it anyway, because I think I need to mention it. But I want to talk to her because this is what she actually did for a living before Plexus, and she's really good at it. And honestly, I'm not that great at it, especially the planning part, is an events coordinator. Whereas like Julie was saying, like Julie Thacker, you said, you know, every 90 days we do an event. So like in this page is where we want to do our 7-day trials instead of always starting a new group. But we need a coordinator to be like, okay, you know, Tuesdays is Testimony Tuesdays. We always know that at 8:30. But, you know, here's the second week of the month, we're always going to have a 7-day trial. We always know that. But then looking forward over those 90 days, let's have each quarter, like he said, have some kind of health challenge, you know, like that gut glam thing that I shared, or, and I think he's right, let's not do it more than 21 days, or the no sugar detox that Stacy is so good at, or, you know, like, so I feel like we need to have each month a 7-day trial, each week the testimony time, and each quarter some kind of challenge. You know, and then, so that's kind of, those are all my thoughts. So your turn. I have chatted a lot. Any thoughts? As I'm saying, we need to come up with a name. That's super important. We really need a name. And so listening to all that, is there anything that pops out at you that you're like, you know what, I'd be great at that? Or so-and-so would be great at that. I don't want this to be pressure on anyone. That's the other thing. I don't want anyone to feel like, okay, I've got a million. I don't want it to feel like a job. I want it to be like you're excited about it, you know? And yeah. So what are your strengths, and what is something you guys, go ahead, I'll be quiet now. I wish there was more of us on here. And I know there are more of us in that group. Almost everybody wants to play a role. So thankfully, Jackie's like phenomenal at reminding me of things. Okay. I'm listening to Jackie right here. She told me to record it. So I'm going to share this recording. So it sounds good. My biggest question is, how do we be sure it's better interaction than the 40 days to fab, because that group fell flat. Yeah, Jackie, I agree with you. And so I think that's why it's really important to have those comment caretakers. I think the more active we commit as a group and the more of us do it, like if we're active, people are going to be active. Because if you think about it, when someone, and I do this, and naturally I do this. If I see something and nobody comments, I don't comment either. But then because I know that, sometimes I'm like, oh, I better comment so they don't feel bad, But if there's like 100 comments, I get to my attention. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, this is something important. I want to play too, Yeah. And then Bob said, keep any challenge 7 to 14 days. So that's the thing. The 40 days was just a really long time. And
I would say too, to answer or to speak to Jackie's question, get skin in the game, all of us. I mean, I think we need to emphasize that, not just to those of us who are right here in this group or whatever. But you need to let that be what you emphasize to your team. This isn't just somewhere for us to get together and love to hear ourselves talk as ambassadors. This potential page is for us to actually add people in there. And you're going to be active if you know you have somebody who could be a person, and they need to see you active in there, and see you being a part of that. So I would say, and Amy and I have talked about this, when we make that welcome video, that we're going to really emphasize, or when we explain because it may be that we need to do a training video on how to use this page. This isn't a place for you to just, like, I think I just saw her chat come through, dump people and walk away. Right. Part of you doing yes, you have this resource to pull from, but you are guiding them and interacting with them inside that group. But I don't think anybody, it's going to fall flat if nobody is adding people to it, and I think that, what you want to do is, maybe we could all, turn and take this to our, our level ones or whatever. Go to your level ones and say, here's my challenge this week. Everybody who adds 2 potentials, 3 potentials, make a game out and make a challenge out of it. Mm-hmm. Add this many potentials to the page, because automatically they're going to be more engaged in that page. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's just an idea of a way to get people involved. But I think when you have, people in there, they're at least going to start perusing it more, because they're going to make sure that, hopefully they would make sure that what the content is answering the questions of their potentials that they've added. But, anyway, maybe that's a way for us to also get, grow the group to begin with,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Jackie, we're not doing 2 groups. She means on my team page. I'm going to make my team page, like, if you listen to his, call last night.
Yeah. Sorry. I didn't mean a training group. I wasn't talking about, I was talking about just when we talk to our people, that
right.
we would explain to them how, the purpose behind the page, even
right.
beyond, like Amy, or, us individually or with on your team, whatever, do an explanation call to present it to people so they get what it's for. Yeah.
So yeah, I love that. I think it's really, like you said, really important to do a training on how to use this page. And we don't want anyone just to dump it and walk away. But on the other hand, we don't want that. But for our brand new ambassadors or our wholesaling ambassadors, we do want them to have a place where maybe someone will catch it, And one thing I like about groups, typically you can see who added them. So, if a potential is asking questions and there's no one to, like, I'm going to go and check and see who they were added by and touch base with that person too, because I do have plenty of level ones or whatever that don't work the business. But if someone asks them a question, I want them to know what to do. And if all they do is add them to a page, hey, let's do that root, whatever you called it, tree rooting, but
tap rooting.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, by all means, but hopefully they'll catch the vision or whatever. But logistically, real quick, a tap rooting. Yeah, thank you. We need to come up with a name. We need to come up with a launch date. Honestly, I was wanting to do it March 1st. So I don't know, like, if we have to have everything perfect, or we just start adding people. And like, obviously, before we add anyone, we need to have the pin post ready and a welcome video ready, which I think Julie and I are going to do a Zoom and do that. but the pin post, but like things like the albums and stuff like that it'll be okay if it goes through, like as we go. It doesn't have to all be ready right away. Unless, but I'm open to ideas. If you think we do need to have all that, and you think like, hey, March 15th or whatever, you tell me. And then the other thing I want to know is, should we take the 40 Days to Fabulous and just revamp that so that all those people and like potentials in there are already there? That's kind of what I was wanting to do. And then there's already a bunch of content. And most people aren't going to scroll back forever, So I personally, what I was thinking I was going to do is change that name, change that pinned post, and then, make a live video in there and just be like, this is what we're going to be doing. And we'd love for you to stay. If not, that's okay. But this is what we're going to be doing, because there's already a bunch of people in there. So that's what I was thinking. But what do you think about that? Should we do that, or should we start a brand new one? I'm up for either one.
A brand new one is not going to have the energy that already existing members of a page could have. Now, I know it's been dormant for a little while, but I think that once we start pumping in some videos and stuff like that, you've already got a base of something like 80 people or whatever it was. So that can bring your energy, as opposed to having it all full of new people and new prospects where they really don't know what they're there for, and health and happiness what? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that keeping that, now changing the name of it, 40 Days to Fabulous, that needs to change to better reflect what you're about now. And you might want to just take the time limitation off. Instead of 40 Days to Fabulous,
right.
Becoming Fabulous, or Feeling Fabulous.
Change the name for sure.
I'm sorry?
We'll definitely change the name.
Right.
For sure.
So I would just say take off the time constraint, but if you want, keep the fabulous theme. I think it's cool. And considering things that you're saying and doing, is I have got to be very structured, lots of time blocking, because of all the things that I'm involved in between pastoring a congregation and working for B'nai Yosef and writing a book and blah, 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 blah.
I didn't know you're writing a book.
Yes, it's about Passover.
Oh.
So I'm excited about that. But I've got a publisher and a deadline. So yeah, so a lot of things haven't happened recently that I want to have happen. But anyway, with that, I see my place, because I'm a foodie, and I'm not saying I'm the best foodie there, but I know that that's my passion, is maybe a video on something to make out of a Plexus product, or something that goes with a diet plan, be it Whole30 or keto or whatever. I could, if I don't know it, I can certainly educate myself
Right.
on that and get that out to you. So that's stuff that I was thinking that might be part of the page, is recipes and stuff like that. And it doesn't have to be recipes for food. It could be recipes for.
We can have one of the time. You pick a time slot. It could be like the Rachel Ray show, but the Gloria show. You know what I mean? Like, something like that would be fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you picked a time, a day a week, and let it be like live video with Gloria and share your new recipe or something. Would that be something cool? I think that'd be great.
Yeah, I can do that, and that counts for one of your daily videos. So you've got testimonies on Tuesday, right, where you're going to have a Zoom or a Facebook Live or whatever that evening. Don't do it on Tuesday, do it on Thursday. Wednesdays are hot for me because of the feeding the homeless thing and Hebrew class, but I've got Monday and Thursday that I could easily do, or Sunday.
I think, yeah. Well, what do you guys think? But I think Thursday is fine. I think that would be a good idea, something that they know to look up. So Food Friday, but Gloria does the Sabbath on Friday, right? So you couldn't do Friday.
I could do Friday day. It's Friday after sundown. That
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
yeah.
Well, you choose what you think's best. I think, yeah, I think the other day is good. Whatever you think. Yeah.
Okay.
But I think that's good as long as it's a consistent time and people would,
Right.
you know, I think that would be great. And plus, you have a phenomenal health story. You know, you could talk about, tell people, because honestly, that people want to know. Show your before and after and talk about how you did that. Because you used Plexus, but you also, here are some things that I did. Truthfully, I would love to watch that because I need to listen for, like, and talk about it's not easy. This did not happen overnight. Here are some of the changes I've made. Here's what I've cooked. So something like that would be, I think it would be really valuable, honestly.
And that's the biggest thing is people are always looking for the magic pill. And
Yeah.
I'm so glad that I wanted to go slow and steady and that's what I got, lost about 90 pounds, but it took 2 years to do it.
Yeah.
And just chugging away.
Have you ever had, like, say, like you're talking about burnout or whatever, like that's something that somebody else can fill in if they had to, you know what I mean? Like if we pick that time slot, it could be, like Julie's had an amazing health journey too, both of you really, right? So I think it could be your thing, but if you ever felt like overwhelmed or burnt out, somebody could take that too.
Sure.
But I think that's really, really good. I like that. I love that idea.
Friday isn't bad. That would conceivably work sometime Friday morning or early Friday afternoon. That would work. The other that might work well is set up Sunday, where
maybe do it Sunday. Because Friday we want to do like that Freedom, the Fabulous Friday, and then we might do products. But Sunday actually would be great because that's like the start of the week. Most people aren't. I think that's probably a really good time.
Okay, Sunday afternoon, you think?
Yeah. I think that's good. What do you guys think? Do you like that? Okay. Okay. So I love that. All right. So do we want to start this March 1st, or do we need to? Want to start this March 1st, or do we need more time? March 1st. You ready? Julie's ready. Julie's been ready to go for like a month. She's like, why are we waiting on this? Okay. She has people to start. Okay.
I would say, but we're going to need to get the welcome video and stuff as well. So, I mean, in theory, March 1st is tomorrow. It's not a leap year.
Oh, yeah.
So,
you're right. So
I just like the reality of that. I know you've got your son's birthday. So I would say let's
maybe Monday
build it up and then either do it like I know Jackie just said the 15th, I just saw that, or Monday, like, start a week out with it. Like, aim for it. I think the soonest we would be able to do it, and it would still be a push, I think we would be this coming Monday.
Okay.
And that way we have this week to gather things and present it to like our level ones that we want to engage.
Because we also need to train the team on how to invite people. Yeah. We do not want them just adding a bunch of people.
You might
will get shut down in a second.
Another thought would be to let's have the page up, like ready to run. Okay. By like say Monday, and then maybe Monday you do a team call.
Okay.
Specifically training that.
Okay.
And then we launch, whatever other date. I don't know.
Oh, you know what? When I do the team call, I'll do a live in the page, but then I could bring some of you on to talk about a little part of it, maybe.
Right.
And
I just think that's,
I'll get the Zoom.
We're all excited to do it, but I think if we're strategic too, because here's the thing. The other part of me doesn't really want to wait until the 15th because I want us to have a 7-day trial this month, personally.
Yeah. Let's do Monday. Let's start Monday.
So
I could do a team call Monday. I could do a team. I'll start. I don't know.
Well, I mean, if we can just say we're gonna have it ready to go as if we were just gonna absolutely run with it on Monday, but then you could still do the training call with it on Monday. You know what I mean?
So it's ready. It'll be ready by Monday, but we'll start adding. Okay.
Yeah, or Sunday. True.
Sunday.
Yeah.
You want me to do the team? You want to do the team calls on Sunday night instead? Be ready.
What's that date? What's the date?
Third, fourth, I think.
Four. Yeah.
Okay. As long as it's later, I could probably do that.
Like at 9 o'clock, we've done a bunch of things. Yeah,
I could do 9, probably.
Yeah.
I might be a little late, but I could get there.
Okay. All right, I'll plan on that. Okay. But we could always message about this. I'm sorry, you guys. I am under the weather. I know I've mentioned this to some of you, but I feel like I have a fever right now. So let's see. So we'll do a training, and on that training, we'll talk about how to invite people. So in the meantime, we're going to get the pinned post ready. I'll just make the pinned post, and I'm going to add you guys to it, obviously. And then you can, no, I wish I can hire a house cleaner. Let's see, a pinned post, and then I'm going to add you so you can edit or, let me know, whatever. Okay, so name, do we want to just like think about names and then in our group message it? Come on, or does anyone have a name that's burning on their heart right now that we do need a name? And okay, so Jackie's asking, and I agree, we need to decide, are we keeping the 40 Day to Fabulous? I don't personally, like, no one's going to care if I start making changes in there, you know what I mean? Personally, I think we just should keep it and just do it as we go. We already got people in there.
I think the only thing you might want to do is, like, we could go in there and clean some of it up. Like, if we see something like, I wouldn't want to potentially see that, we could obviously delete that.
Right.
But for now, I think it's fine because you already have a base.
Yeah, that's what I think. And if somebody doesn't like it, they can just leave, But they're making
say that,
Yeah.
So that they don't feel like they've been hijacked.
I thought, hired a
But essentially, if they agreed to be a part of that group, that was pretty, like, they were committing to 40 days. Nobody was randomly added to that group. So I don't think I think they'll get that they can either just
leave or not leave. Yeah.
Yeah, leave or not leave.
Exactly. All right. So is there anybody highly opposed to keeping that group? Otherwise, we'll just keep it. And I'll just start changing it. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I feel desperately like I need to lay down. So let's think of a name. So message any names that you come up with. Think about any graphics. I know he mentioned 99 something. I'm not good at graphics, honestly. 99 design. I don't know what that is. Sorry. Oh man, I do gotta clean. Okay. Sorry, you guys. I'm starting to fade. Feeling it.
You're fine. Amy, I'll take care of finding out the graphic part of it. Don't worry about that.
Awesome. Okay. So do that, and the pin post, I'll start working on that. And I'm basically just going to make it like, we need a name and job assignments. So we do need a name and job assignments, but let's think about that. Like, you pray about or think about what you want to do and what you're good at. And I'm going to record this. I'm recording it. I'm going to put it in our little group and see if anybody volunteers before we just assign people to do something. But basically, just to recap, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it's going to be a product spotlight. We're going to do a product testimony during those days. Tuesday nights, testimony time. We're going to have a 7-day challenge every month. And once a quarter, we're going to have some kind of challenge. We need to find out comment coordinators, whoever wants to be those. And then Tuesdays, Thursdays is going to be generic type of community building, health tip, whatever. And I know somebody mentioned about exercise. I think unless someone just really volunteers for that, that could just be part of the Tuesday, Thursday thing if there's a health tip or whatever. But I do like Gloria's. Gloria has a phenomenal testimony, and so I think let's commit for the month to do that, Gloria, and then we'll, like I said, reevaluate every month to see how that's going. And you guys froze. Am I frozen? Can you hear me? That's weird. Can anybody hear me? I'm going to text somebody. Okay, so I don't know what just happened. It is still recording, but it's totally